My name is Romuald Matushka. This is the 38th year that I've been chairing this event. This is the 38th year that the parade has been downtown. So we want to thank all of you for coming. So I'd like to call on our president of the Chicago Society, that is Ted Makarevich.
Amazing. Just amazing. See what personality can do for us? Thank you, Coach Day. Wow. All right, good morning. I'd like to welcome you all to this year's Chicago Society of the Polish National Alliance Pre-Parade Brunch, celebrating the 124th anniversary of the Polish Constitution Day Parade. We honor this morning to have with us the Grand Marshal, Chicago's own Coach Mike Krzyzewski, otherwise known as Coach K of the Duke University Blue Devils, the 2015 NCAA Men's National Championship Basketball team.
Please greet me, Coach K.
So I'm going to do this like I talk to my team. I want all the ladies to pay attention, all the girls, all the guys, old guys, young guys, for a couple minutes. For me, okay, I want everyone to be quiet. All right, you're in my locker room right now, all right? Because I want to talk to you about something that you're talking about at your individual tables. And the very first thing that you're talking about is pride. You know, that's what all of us feel today. The pride of being here, the pride of our heritage, of being from Poland, or our ancestors from being from Poland, and to celebrate that pride. For me, I grew up right here in Chicago, around Damon and Augusta, in a great Polish community. Obviously, there are no other communities except great Polish communities. For me, it's so good to hear the Polish language, and that's what I grew up in. And to be around the warmth and the love that the Polish community and Polish people have. I tell people around the world, I've been very lucky. I went to West Point, I've been an Army officer, obviously I've been at Duke, but I've been the United States basketball coach for 10 years, so I've been all over the world, and we've won. And when we've won, it's not just the U.S. winning, it's Krzyzewski. And this is the one area where somebody doesn't have to say Coach K, all right? I want to tell you quickly a couple things, and maybe it'll resonate with you, in stories about your families and what we should be thinking about today. Obviously, we should have a good time. Whenever Polish people get together, it's always a good time. That's what food, drink, but also love. I think when I think of Polish people, I think of love. I think of happiness. I think of friendship. I think of people that will have your back. But why are we here? Why are we here? Like, I ask myself, how am I a coach at Duke? We win national championships and Olympics. How the heck did that happen? And I think back on, first of all, something that I've worked with my Olympic team. In 2008, we won the gold medal in Beijing. Before we went to China, we took our team to New York to take a picture. And this is LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, and all those guys, the best players in the world, and I'm their coach. And we go on a ferry, and we're out in New York Harbor, and we take a picture with the Statue of Liberty is behind us. Okay? And after the picture is taken, I bring all the guys to one side of the boat. And besides the Statue of Liberty, you can see Ella smiling. We all know Ellis Island, and I tell my guys a story, and the first part of it is true, and then I embellish it a little bit, which Polish people have a right to do. But my parents said you could do that. But I brought them over and I said, and this is 2008, and I said, 100 years ago, my grandfather, Joseph Pituk, stood on that island, okay, and he had 2 suitcases, and he had the courage, because he wanted a better life for his family, without knowing what the heck he was going to do. But he had faith in himself, and he knew that he was going to go to a Polish community. He went to a Polish community in western Pennsylvania in a coal mining region. My dad's parents went to Chicago, and then eventually they all ended up here. But I told my team, I said, so there's Joseph Pituk, and this is where I embellish it. Embellish means you lie, all right? Sorry, in parties you can lie a little bit. And I said, my grandfather, Wally's on his right and Stash is on his left. And he says, Wally, Stash, 100 years, now this is 1908, 100 years from now, my grandson Mike is going to coach the United States Olympic basketball team. Wally and Stash said, you're a dumb Polish guy, Joseph. That'll never happen. How can a Polish kid, you're coming from Poland. No, my grandson's going to be good, and he's going to do it. You know, obviously that didn't happen, but what did happen was his grandson did become the Olympic coach. And I reminded, no, that's not for me. I reminded each of my players that some of them, their answers came from slaves. They came from, in other words, one of the reasons we're here today is to celebrate the courage of other people. My mom and dad, my mom never went to high school. She's a cleaning lady here at the Chicago Athletic Club. She died in '96. My dad went to 2 years of high school, and he was an elevator operator at Willoughby Tower. He died when I was a senior at West Point. My dad went by the name of Cross, because during that time, and we should remember these things, because it makes today even better. He went by the name of Cross because there was ethnic discrimination. He couldn't get a job, maybe, because he was Krzyzewski. So he used Cross. He went into World War II as Cross. When he died, when I was a senior at West Point, his tombstone, because we didn't have the money, the government paid for it, said Cross. Finally, when my mom passed in '96, we put Krzyzewski there. You know? And I wish I could speak Polish. And somebody said, you should know. Well, when I was coaching at Duke earlier, my mom would come down and visit, and one day I asked her, I said, you know, at St. Helens, I could have taken Polish. Why did you not want me to take it? And she says, Michael, at that time, we were worried if you had an accent, and with the name, you might not get a job. And so understand that many of you, your relatives went through the same thing. And today, now people are proud. You don't have people changing their names. They want to get to their roots. Well, when they get to the roots, let's get to the courage, the pride. You know, that's what Poland is about. That's what the Polish Americans are about. When I went into the Hall of Fame in 2001, the main thing in my speech I said, and I was crying, I'm not going to cry today, but maybe I'll cry later if I get to keep taking so many pictures. But, the end of my speech, I just said, I dedicate this to my mom and dad, and I want you to know that today, a Krzyzewski goes into the Hall of Fame. And so today, let's just not celebrate, let's just not have a good time, but at some time today, you know, we like to drink a little bit too. You know, water, orange juice, and other things. And sometime today, when you're at your tables, where you're celebrating today, toast the people that made it possible for you to be here. That's what today is about. And that's why the unity of these two great countries, and for us to always celebrate the Polish heritage while we're celebrating our country's heritage, it creates an amazing bond. It's a team that can't be beat, and it's a team that we're going to celebrate today, because one common element is the Constitution. Isn't it crazy that we always think of this Constitution, but this Constitution is equally strong, and the two of them together, man, we can win a national championship. Thank you for allowing me to